fourth grade. Tony, I thought you weren't in this.
Hey, look at me. I'm William Shakespeare.
To be
or not to be. Mwah.
This is the model of 370 Gordy Road. Got
Hey,
that?
look, I made this
370
book myself. See, isn't it a well-made book?
Going home is something I never really thought would be a privilege. Home and a sense of home is always something that comes naturally to the best of us until we leave it, until we move away from home, until we move out. Take the first big leap and dive into the real world, and if not the real world, then one step closer to it. And so on this weekend, late in February, I found myself with the privilege of going home, returning to my own street, seeing the road I had to take going away to school in reverse. I see news clippings on the walls, the furniture in the basement, the cooking in the kitchen, all of these wonderful things, and I go into my bedroom and I explore the closet for the clothes that wasn't worthy of leaving the house, things that were held on standby. I open the door, I climb the stairs, I turn on the light, and suddenly I'm back in my own attic, back exploring boxes and memories of Christmases and Easters and childhoods, and I hear a bird outside, and although it's February, it's nice out, the sun is shining, and I wish I could hear the bird chirping in the window. I do not. I find my way down into my bedroom again, and I lay on my bed with my dogs, and I look at my bookshelf when I find something more important to me than anything I could have ever known. The book I found was a collection of poetry by Billy Collins, Sailing Alone Around the Room. It was actually the first collection of poetry I ever bought for myself. And as I was flipping through it, it landed on a personal favorite poem called On Turning 10. The whole idea of it makes me feel like I'm coming down with something worse than any stomach ache or the headaches I get from reading in bad light, kind of measles of the spirit, a mumps of the psyche, a disfiguring chicken pox of the soul. You tell me it is too early to be looking back, but that is just because you have forgotten the perfect simplicity of being one, and the beautiful complexity introduced by two. But now I am mostly at the window watching the late afternoon light. Back then it never fell so solemnly against the side of my treehouse, and my bicycle never leaned against the garage as it does today. All of the dark blue speed drained out of it. This is the beginning of sadness, I say to myself. As I walk through the universe in my sneakers, it is time to say goodbye to my imaginary friends, time to turn the first big number. It seems only yesterday I used to believe that there was nothing under my skin but light. If you cut me, I would shine. But now when I fall upon the sidewalks of life, I skin my knees. I bleed. So I actually didn't even put the book back on my bookshelf. I brought it with me to school, and even today, now close to the end of another semester, I can't help but bury myself in its pages. There's something about it that leads me thinking back, and I can't help but blame the poem and being home alone on this whole exploration in general. What did it mean to be 10? To be just moving into a new house, to be moving into a new world. I mean, I don't think Collins is completely right in the sense that life becomes miserable, but it is a change, it is a catalyst. Despite how well written the poem is, I think Collins has it all wrong. There isn't an awful feeling of dread going into the 10s. The opposite, in fact. There's a willingness and a curiosity as we grow towards adulthood. Responsibility is attractive to us, not something that stresses us out, even if it is the attraction to steal the show or torment an older brother. Maybe light doesn't pour out of us, but that's okay. When we fall, when we skin our knees, we get back up on the bike and ride around this neighborhood or that one until the wind in our hair reminds us of our curiosity. The jadedness, the dissatisfaction, the sleepless nights will come. But to you, 10-year-old, now is not that time. Now is the time for bad haircuts and having fun and exploring and adventuring. The scars may last forever, the ones blood pours from, but the light remains forever. It stays within. It stays in our memory. I'm glad I was home alone this weekend. I'm glad I had some time just to myself to really keep track of history worth remembering. I'm glad I got to revisit myself and move into our new house again and to ride down that hill one more time, to ride around the suburbs one more time.
But it was in the summer, so it wasn't that bad. I'm glad we're moving. We're gonna have a lot more space, a nicer yard. I'll miss everybody though. My favorite thing about living here is the nice, safe community and all the nice kids.
Maybe being 10 wasn't the birthday parties or the presents or the puppy or the too high socks or the Sneetches t-shirt. Maybe it was the sense of adventure that we shared together and that I had myself. It's the adventures I had outside of that window, the bike rides, even the ones that did end in crashes and skinned knees. No, light didn't pour from those wounds. But the blood wasn't all that bad, because it was the blood of life. It was the blood of living. And that living is something I know I can do on forever. From 10 until who knows.